Hey everybody, and welcome to the podcast. Today I want to talk about bouncing back from a bunch of bad losses. We've talked a lot before about how to recover and everything like that, but I wanted to kind of personalize it and today have it be sort of a stream of consciousness of specifically how I can bounce back because I've had an absolutely awful trading week. Traded 3 days and hit my max loss every single day. Hadn't had that happen. Haven't had that happen for uh, just I can't even remember the last time. Incredibly bad. Um, and just lost a ton in a row. And we talk a lot about treating, hey, getting into kind of statistics mindset. You're in this for the long haul, for the probabilities. You don't care about each individual trade, but at the end of the day, I mean, it affects you, right? And I know it affects me losing a bunch of trades in a row. Um, it affects how you think of your trading, right? You can go from very kind of upbeat to kind of a little bit more, I don't know. It can get to you. Um, and as you get more experience, you'll get better at not letting those lows really destroy you. I know that I still have my ability and I know bad luck rears its ugly head, and also think mistakes I make. I mean, sometimes you can make mistakes that then pile up. And just thinking about it, I've made mistakes this week. First off, I've been really sleep deprived. I know that's affected my trading. I just have not been getting good sleep. Um, and that affects your trading. I mean, period. Right? Like we all want to pretend like we can act the same way and we're the same quality. But it's not true. I know it's not true. You know it's not true. And so I can't be trading when I'm incredibly sleep deprived. I just can't be. Um, so how to bounce back? I mean, in like really, nuts and bolts. Well, for one, I'm not going to trade tomorrow. Um, had a bunch of bad days. I'm not going to trade tomorrow. Just let myself reset, do some, journaling, look at kind of see whether what I've done, talk to Jordan and kind of see whether I can reset my headspace. So that's important. Taking a break, we've done an episode on this. We'll link it in the description. Taking a break is sometimes one of the best superpowers of a trader. Because when things go poorly, things can very quickly spiral. And so I'm going to take a break for the next day or two at least, and then come back fresh. Secondly, I'm also going to drop my risk. So I typically risk, I do the math so that I can lose essentially 10 trades in a row and not have any problems with prop firms or anything like that. Um, but I'm going to drop it lower. I'm going to have my risk. So now I can afford to, as I'm trying to get out of a slump, I don't want the added pressure of, oh man, like could hit my stop loss. I mean, my drawdown here. Like I don't want that. So, um, I'm going to have my risk, and this is a really good idea for a lot of beginners. If you get into a losing streak, take a break and drop your risk in half. It's kind of a really good recipe for just easing tensions a little bit. Okay, let's play sandbox mode for a little bit. Um, and take a little bit of the pressure off, take a break, come back fresh with less risk, and kind of slowly start working my way back. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to take a break, going to have my risk, and um, and then talk with Jordan, look at the journals, and see what I can figure out. Um, I think that's a pretty good I think that's a pretty good recipe for anybody, right? I think those three things, having someone accountable or who can help you, especially, that's awesome. If you don't, then at least spend time in your journal. Um, review your journals and your trades and whether it was just unlucky or whether, you made some mistakes. I know a couple of my trades I wish I could have taken back. And that I don't like having because I typically like you get I lose trades all the time, but I don't lose trades all the time that I go, man, I could have avoided that. I could have avoided taking that trade. And that sucks, right? And so the real goal is to eventually you're always going to have losses, but you want to have losses that you go, yeah, I would take that trade again. If I took 100 of those trades, I would win, X amount of them, right? I would be profitable at the end. And there were a couple trades mixed in there that weren't, and I think that's probably based off of lack of sleep, bad headspace. So, that's just a little bit of a stream of consciousness in there because you know, it doesn't matter how long you day trade, you're going to have these times. And if you can't find healthy ways to deal with it, if you can't find good ways to bounce back and not let it affect the rest of your life too, you're going to be miserable and you're going to make everybody else around you miserable and you're going to have an awful time day trading and you're not going to last, right? Like if every time you have a losing streak, it sends you into a funk, you're just not going to last. And so you have to be able to kind of claw your way out of there and, recognize that, hey, this happens. We're in this for the long game, so on and so forth. All the things we've talked about before. So I just wanted to kind of encourage you guys. This happens to everybody. It happens to Jordan. It happens to myself. It's happened to me this week. So if any of you are in the situation that I'm in, consider joining me in taking take a day off, reset, read your journal, get somebody else to read it with you, and then you can bounce back with a little bit more success and lower that risk so you're not putting any pressure on yourself. I'm not, it's really important in day trading to have optimism, and I'm a very optimistic guy. If you're a pessimistic or anxious person, you're going to have a really, really hard time day trading. It's just the facts. So I'm an optimistic person, but it doesn't matter how optimistic you get. Sometimes you get down. So just remember, this is how the game's played. Like this is where the sausage is made, right? I mean, in the trenches where it gets hard, where it gets difficult, it gets ugly, and you take bad trades and you have some losing streaks. This is day trading. So, I just want to kind of share that with you guys. Hopefully, you can learn a little bit from my pain and have an awesome weekend. Really appreciate you guys listening. If you again, we've said this before, but if you enjoy the podcast, we absolutely love it if you can leave reviews or share it with somebody. It helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.